Greetings and welcome. This is the New Thought Media Network. I am Ken Ludwig, and this is the Vibrant Living Hour. Hope this day finds you safe, healthy, and happy, and that you are living your best life, doing whatever it is you're doing, that you are just simply enjoying your existence, everything about your life. I'm all crooked here today. I don't know why that is, but, I go through this every single day. I never sit straight in this chair. I don't know what that's about. Anyway, hope this day just find you doing life in such a way that you're happy with what you're doing, that everything is unfolding harmoniously and perfectly for you in every single way that it possibly can. Going to adjust this a little bit here. I don't know why my lighting is so weird today, but that's what it is. You do the best you can with what you got. So, what are you doing today? What are you up to today? Let me know if you're out there. Let me know exactly what's going on in your world. If you're watching, give me a comment, give me a hello, give me a question, anything you want, something you want to hear about, you want to talk about. I'm up for it, whatever it is. So just let me know you're out there. I can always see that there are people out there. I can't always see where they're watching from, or I can't always see the comments, and I can't see who it is. So let me know that you're out there. It's such an interesting time in history. I've said this a million times, probably on the show, even a million times. The old Chinese saying is, may you live in interesting times. And I've always maintained that depending on your perspective, that is either a blessing or a curse. And I think in this day and age, it's really depending on the hour of the day, it's either a blessing or a curse. And it certainly is interesting times. And we're kind of, as my friend Barry says in his great song, What We're Thinking About, we're bunkered into high-walled camps left and right, it seems, and there ain't nobody talking when everybody screams. It just seems like we don't listen to one another, like we're not paying attention, like we don't care what you have to say. My opinion is my opinion. It's the only opinion, and whatever you got to say is just BS, so keep it to yourself. But it is an interesting time. And I was thinking today, or been thinking a lot the last several days, about how do we get to embrace our commonality? Because we certainly have more in common. We're certainly more alike than we are different. I think Maya Angelou said that. We're more alike, my friends, than we are different, something to that effect. We all have basic needs. We have basic things that all of us require to exist. I mean, we obviously all require air to breathe, and we all require water to drink and food to eat. We also require shelter. Those are common things that each and every one of us is looking for. And it depends on where you live and how you live and what your circumstances are. Certainly the country you live in, everything is kind of different as far as how that looks. The air is air, although in some places more polluted than others. But water and food and shelter is something that we all require no matter where we live. And shelter can be anything from your igloo to your tent to a cardboard box under a bridge, if that's your lot in life, to a McMansion, to just a modest home or a log cabin in the woods. Shelter is what we require to just keep ourselves, I guess, safe and secure, at least in our minds, if no place else. And we require food, and food's a problematic thing in this day and age. We hear about it in this country in particular. We hear about people living in food deserts where there are no grocery stores. There's no place to actually buy food within, and I'm not sure what the numbers are. I think it might be within 20 or 25 miles of where you live. That's a problem. That's an issue. Water. We all need water. And in so many, many parts of the world, I think more than half the population of the planet, more than 3.5 billion people, do not have access to fresh, clean water. That's a problem. And it exists in this country as well as third world countries, or developing countries like India and those kinds of places where there just isn't fresh water. Air is something else we all require. And air, once again, it can be problematic depending on where you live. In some parts of the world, you wear a mask. In different parts of China, for years and years, they were wearing masks just in the city just because of the smog and the pollution. In the 70s, the air in major cities, LA and New York, the air was so bad that it was barely breathable. And it was certainly not healthy to breathe. Excuse me, my father passed away at 72 years old from something called interstitial lung disease. Interstitial lung disease is basically, it's kind of like a heading for a couple of dozen different things, as I recall, that fall into that category. But basically, my father's lungs turned to leather. They just stopped functioning, and he was, at the time, they considered 72 too old for a lung transplant. So that was not a possibility. And little by little, his lungs just became useless, and he literally ran out of breath. One of my sisters dubbed him SOB, short of breath. And that's what took his life. I have always felt that the fact that my father worked in Manhattan and commuted to Manhattan from Long Island for 40 years, I always maintained that breathing that air and being in the subways every day and all of that air contributed to his passing at 72 years old. He was in fact, that was the only thing wrong with him, was his lungs failing. The rest of his body was in perfect health. His blood pressure was great. Everything was, his cholesterol was even good. I mean, he was in great shape for a 72-year-old man, except for the fact his lungs stopped working. But again, he needed air to breathe. He needed fresh air to breathe. He didn't get fresh air, I maintained. So he wound up with that shortening his life. He needed more air, but that's a basic need. More air, fresh air, breathable air, if you will. We all need that. That's part of it. Those are the basic physical needs of life. But there's more to it than that. I mean, because we have emotional needs. We have mental and spiritual, if you will, needs. We all need to be loved. We all need to be accepted. And I think one of the things that we're running into in this day and age is the lack of acceptance of one another is causing the tremendous amount of animosity and violence among ourselves that we see. And I see you folks out there. I think this is a big subject today, and I would love to get your input, your questions. Just say hi. Let me know you're out there. But back to the subject here. It's if we haven't learned by now to accept one another, it's not going to get better. Our ability to accept one another is going to diminish as we practice it less and less and less. And the desire to be loved is something that's universal. And the only way that you get to feel that sense of being loved is really if you are someone who is open to love. And in order to be open to love, we have to express love. We can't just accept it. You have to give it, because you can't. Accepting love is not a possibility if you can't give it. It's not a possibility if you don't feel it, if you don't love yourself. And that's another basic human need, to be loved. But the one I think is almost, maybe they're equally important, to be accepted. To be accepted, and we want to be accepted in our tribe. We want to be part of the people with whom we have a commonality, like-minded people, people who like the same things we like. And unfortunately, in this day and age, there's an affinity between people who dislike or even hate the same things or people that we dislike or hate. That seems to be a real driving force in our society, in America, in the institutions of the American thing, whatever that is. And we're having trouble accepting one another. And if we don't stop and think to ourselves, you know what? I don't agree with you. In fact, I might not even like you. But you are the expression of the divine as you. And as such, my requirement as a metaphysician is that I love you. I love that you're here. I don't have to love your actions. I don't have to like your actions. I might be able to. I can't stand your actions. There's the old saying in metaphysics that even Hitler went to heaven. Not that there's a heaven, but that Hitler was a human being. Everything he did, everything about him may have been despicable beyond comprehension, but he was still an expression of the divine. We have people in our political realm in this day and age that are despicable human beings, that seem like they are failed human beings. Yeah, yeah, you know who I'm talking about. But the requirement is, as the Bible says, hate the sin, not the sinner. We're required to love that person, that politician, that activist, whatever it is, that despot. We're required to love them as an expression of the divine at the same moment that we despise everything they stand for. It's a real dichotomy there. It's a real like, wow, really? How do I do that? How do I figure that out? The next piece of that, of course, is then to accept them as who they are. Again, I don't have to like them, but I have to accept them. And the real piece that I think that is disturbing us all as Americans, as earthlings, is that we do not accept those who disagree with us. We do not accept those who are not part of our tribe. And if we change our mind about something, then our tribe ostracizes us. Now, not only do we not accept people from another tribe, our tribe isn't accepting us because we're not agreeing 100% with them. We've gotten so completely compartmentalized in what our beliefs can and should be. I think that's part of what they talk about with cancel culture. If you don't agree with the righteousness or the test or the protocols, whatever it is of your individual tribe, if you don't agree with them, they cancel your butt. I think that's what cancel culture is. I hate the expression. I hate the idea. I hate that we have to label every disagreement as a thing. Cancel culture, it has to be something. It can't just be the fact that I don't like this guy, he doesn't like me, but now we got to cancel each other. It's crazy. Got to love, got to feel loved, got to accept, and got to feel accepted. Your basic human needs, basic human emotional needs. And then we go beyond that to basic spiritual needs. And this is also, this goes back as long as there have been people, this certainly is biblical. There is the basic human need to have hope, to know inside that things will be better. That's a basic human need, because no matter where you are in the world, we see this all the time, that, the old money can't buy happiness thing, it doesn't matter what people have, success, money, whatever. There are miserable people who look like they have everything in the world. You see it in people committing suicide or being addicted to drugs or alcohol, who have everything in the world. You got to think, wow, I wish I had that life, but they're miserable. If they don't have hope that things will get better on whatever level they're miserable, there's a basic human need that's gone missing. And it's an irreplaceable human need. Absolutely have to have hope. Hope comes with daily spiritual practice. Hope comes with meditation. Hope comes with affirmations. I'll tell you what, Louise Hay, God rest her soul, Louise Hay has changed my life post-mortem. Not me post-mortem, Louise post-mortem. She has changed my life because there are so many things that she said that changed her existence later in her life. She had a horrible, abusive life up into like what I'm thinking like her 40s. She had a tough time, but she took on a new way of thinking. She changed her mind. Great question from the book Out of the Maze by, oh my God, the doctor who wrote or co-authored Who Moved My Cheese. Is it Simpson? I don't remember his name now, but that's funny. But in the follow-up book to Who Moved My Cheese, the Out of the Maze, there's a part in the book where the main character says, I changed my mind. And his kind of muse says to him, about what? And he says, I don't know. Wow, that's earth-shaking to me. just change your mind. That's what Louise Hay did. She just changed her mind. About what? I don't think she even knew. But she just started doing things differently. And the thing she did differently more than anything else was affirmations. Affirmations gave her hope. And that hope, that as the affirmations and meditations and things that she did, as that hope continued to be a thing that she did, that became a spiritual practice, that hope then became faith, because those affirmations started to manifest. They started to materialize. Life got better. Life was more fun. Life was more interesting. Life was more rewarding. There was more purpose in her life. And that hope became faith. Faith is huge. Faith is absolutely enormous as a human need, a basic human need. And I don't mean faith in any kind of religious structure. I don't even mean faith in God. I don't mean faith in any deity whatsoever. I mean faith in life. Faith. I have a friend of mine who I know is watching here today, because she just put something about she just loved the post or this show, whatever the hell she did. Her name is Aniko. And Aniko, God bless you. I'm so glad you're out there, sweetheart. Thank you for tuning in. But she is someone who I know at the core of her being, she has absolute faith in who she is and what she's doing and where she's going. And that all was born of a hope to be more. And by the way, the universe is always constantly, nonstop, 24/7, 365. The universe is inviting each and every one of us to be more. It's a constant invitation to be more. More of what? I don't know. Just more. And the minute you accept that invitation, you are more. And that more can come from the hope to be more. I accept the universe's invitation, and now I have the faith that I will be more, that I am more, that I am becoming more. That translates. Oops, I'm sorry. I knew this person was going to call me during the show. So give me a moment here while I just message this person that I will call them back later. Anyway, that faith in me, that faith in life, that faith in who and what I am becoming leads to a love for life, a love for myself, a love for what I'm doing, for what I am becoming. You learn to love that. And if you have that love, Louise Hay describes it as, I am experiencing unconditional love and I share it today. You can only share it if you experience it. You can only share it if you have love from inside to give. All of these things, the physical needs, air, food, water, shelter, the emotional needs to love and to be accepted, and the spiritual needs to have hope and to have faith, and then to love from them. Those are, when you stop and you think about it, those are not huge things. They don't require anything, particularly from the outside world. They all come from within. They all come from within me. Now, the human needs, the air, the food, the water, those are all external. But for the most part, there are things that we all get to experience and to satisfy to an extent. Now, there are certainly people who are not being satisfied in the water and the food front, for sure, and the shelter front. But in the great scheme of things, in the great scheme of the universe, those needs are small. But when we go further, when we go into the emotional and the spiritual needs of faith and hope and love and acceptance, what we really are looking at is things that are not, they're the lack of those things is not going to threaten our survival. They're small things. They're little items. And without question or doubt, they are things that we decide, that we choose to initiate. We get to choose. And I think part of the choice comes from just asking the universe, what can I do today? What do I need to know today? Another one of Louise's affirmations is, I am one with divine intelligence, and the answers to all my questions come to me now. I listen to those answers, and they come to me now. And a corollary to that is because everything I need to know is revealed to me. And this morning in my meditation, I had several things revealed to me because I went into the meditation with the idea in mind that everything I need to know is revealed to me. As time passes, as I grow older, I become more and more aware, acutely aware of how important it is to lean into recognizing my mental, emotional, spiritual needs are the same as yours. They're the same as everybody else's. My needs are the same as I'm obviously, you all know I'm a screaming progressive. My needs are the exact same as every conservative Republican out there. My needs are the exact same as every person who disagrees with me on every level about everything. My needs are exactly the same as their needs. There is no difference. We all require the same things. And I need to be focused on the idea of accepting that. And literally having the ability, because of that, to walk a mile in someone else's shoes, to understand where they come from, why they say and do the things they say and do. I don't need to like them. I just need to accept and do my damnedest to understand. And when I understand, then all of a sudden I have this feeling of compassion. And it's not compassion from the sense of looking down on someone. It's compassion from the standpoint of, we are one. We're all in this together. You know, and people will say, you know, we're not in the same boat. No, we're not, but we are all in the same storm. No pun intended, as Hurricane Ian is wreaking havoc on the southeast coast. I don't mean to laugh about that. It's got lots of people who are friends and family who are in the path of that devastation. But I digress. It's about the idea that each and every one of us is participating in this exact same realm as each and every other one of us. How we do this, how we perform, how we make this function for ourselves helps us to understand, or should be part of understanding, how it works for other people. As I accept that invitation to be more, I have the ability to know more, to feel more, to accept more, to love more. That's part of it. So I guess that's really all I have to say today. That's it. And I can see there's folks out there. I can see they're coming from a couple of different places. I'm thrilled if you just absolutely let me know you're out there. Say hi, ask a question, make a point, whatever it is. I do absolutely want to thank those who are out there watching today. I just felt like this was an important point. It's something that's been kind of on my mind. It's been percolating over the last couple of weeks, along with all the ideas I expressed last week around crossing a line where we can't even agree that we have a disagreement. We can't even agree to disagree without being disagreeable, and to loathe one another, which is just weird in my book. Anyway, please always remember that the New Thought Media Network is a nonprofit organization. You can go to newthoughtmedia.org. That's ntmedia.org. Click on donate, and we are thrilled to receive anything and everything that you deem you would like to give us. We are thrilled with that. If you want to find me, you can go to my branded Facebook page with my beloved Lisa, Vibrant Aging, which of course goes hand in hand with the Vibrant Living Hour. Vibrant Aging is what it's all about, to live your healthiest life as you grow older and grow bolder. You can also reach me at teamrockitnow@gmail.com. Always please remember that the sponsor of this show is HempWorks, creators of the greatest CBD products on the planet, the largest, most extensive line of CBD and hemp-infused products you'll find anywhere. And they are the cleanest, purest, most potent you will find in any marketplace whatsoever. Find me. I'll be glad to tell you all about it. 60-day money-back guarantee on anything and everything that I ever promote. Once again, newthoughtmedianetwork.org. I am, as always, immensely grateful for the great gift of your time and your attention. I wish you all the love and all the blessings that the universe has to offer. I hope you will join me next Thursday and every Thursday for the Vibrant Living Hour. But until then, my friends, namaste.